Welcome back to another prospect rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. In today's video, we are going to be doing a Scoot Henderson Portland Trail Blazers rebuild. So there are tons and tons and tons of different comments, suggestions, rumors on what the Portland Trail Blazers should and will do with their third overall pick in this year's upcoming draft. I'm going to say it now. If I was in charge, if I was running the show, I'm moving on from Damian Lillard. Obviously, that is much easier said than done. But at the end of the day, I do not think that this Portland core is going to win anything with him still there. I think they're delaying the inevitable at this point, and honestly, I do think it would be the right move because he definitely still has a ton of value. That being said, we don't know what the Trailblazers are going to do with their third overall pick. They could draft Scoot Henderson if he's there. They could draft Brandon Miller if he's there. They could trade the pick for a veteran player, try to help build around Damian Lillard. In this hypothetical today, we're going to go ahead. We're most likely going to be trading Dame. We're going to draft Scoot Henderson. And honestly, I'm feeling pretty good right now. I think this team is in a decent place to start a rebuild. I'm excited. As always, if you guys are new around here, have not yet subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit that sub button, stick around a while. We'd love to have you here in the community. Of course, you guys are full of great ideas, and I do see the comments on all of my videos. Continue dropping those video ideas because we're about to go into an interesting period where we're not quite yet up to the actual draft, and we're not quite yet up to free agency, but we're still in the playoffs. So it's a little bit of a weird time, but I know you guys have tons of great ideas, so let me hear them down below, man. But without further ado, this is going to be a very, very busy 5-year Portland Trail Blazers prospect rebuild. Let's get into it. All right, so we are currently past the draft, and the reason I didn't show you guys the draft is because I had to go ahead and also select the picks with the San Antonio Spurs and the Charlotte Hornets just to make sure that Scoot Henderson didn't go there. But we also had another first-round pick. We ended up taking Chris Murray, who's a 73 overall. It's honestly not that bad of a pick. Maybe he can develop a little bit. But Henderson is obviously here. He's a 19-year-old prospect who is going to be very, very good, in my opinion. So obviously, we have to decide what we do want to do with Damian Lillard. To me, it does make the most sense to go ahead and get a trade done. So we're going to see what we can do here. In terms of qualifying offers, I think I'm going to definitely give Cam Reddish one. And honestly, I'll give him T. Thibault one as well. Good defensive piece. So we're here in free agency. Obviously, this is not a team with a ton of cap space right now. We have Jeremy Grant going into free agency, Drew Eubanks, Thibault, and Reddish. We both gave qualifying offers to. Here is a kind of bare bones look at this roster right now. Obviously, Damian Lillard's here. We just drafted Scoot Henderson. You got Keon Johnson. You have Simons. You have Sharp, both of which I do want to get playing time. Small forward spot's interesting. I honestly might just play Shaedon Sharp at the 3. I don't think it's going to matter too much today. You saw we have Jeremy Grant in free agency, but other than him and Nasir Little, Chris Murray, we just drafted Kevin Knox. Jabari Walker in the center spot. I'm not a big Yusuf Nurkic fan, to be honest with you. He'll probably be moved as well. I'm ready to fully embrace the tank and suck for a little while. So we're going to get into some trades, including one for Damian Lillard. I'm not going to make it a realistic trade, but I'm not going to... Here's my thing. I'm sure I'm going to get some crazy players offered for Damian Lillard. I'm going to try to get better draft picks instead, if that makes any sense. So I'm currently just scrolling through all of the trade offers that I have for Damian Lillard, and to be honest with you, I don't really like any of them. I have found one that I'm going to do, and it's this one here with the Knicks, and I understand this is not a good trade. This is just a terrible, terrible trade. The reason I'm doing this trade, because every other trade really kind of has not bad implications, but we get a player that's going to be really tough to tank with. Like, Halliburton doesn't make any sense. He's a point guard. This one I also considered, but if Toronto is going to make this trade for Dame, they probably don't want to give up Siakam. That doesn't really make much sense. Obvious reasons that's not happening. Bradley Beal just makes literally no sense for either side. Levine, very kind of similar. Garland, there's no way Cleveland's moving him and Jarrett Allen. He's kind of very core pieces of that team. Paul George makes no sense. Trae Young, it's not going to happen. I don't see it. He is 24, so he's relatively young. Again, he's a point guard, though we don't really need him. Bam Adebayo, I mean, this one isn't, like, abysmal. Like, it's not good in any way, shape, or form, but it's probably the second best one. And even with that, I don't really know if I love it. And then this Hornets one makes no sense. So we're left with the Knicks one. I am going to try to get a couple draft picks. How about this Pistons pick? And then I will give you, I don't know, my first in 2027. You want to do that? And then I'm sure I can find a player in here. You want Keon Johnson? Oh, man. I got to love 2K. You want Kevin Knox? You want Kevin Knox back in New York? I know I can get this trade. Did not mean to do that. I know I can get this to go through. You want Jabari Walker? They can't afford that. Son of a bitch. They're making it way more challenging than it honestly needs to be, and it's kind of a... You know what? I'm taking the trade. This has gone on for way too long, and you know what? I'm not getting a single draft pick for Damian Lillard, but honestly, I'm fine. I can live with it. Dame is gone. It sucks. It is what it is. All right, so free agency, I also want to emphasize, obviously, if you couldn't figure it out, this is not a realistic rebuild. I'm going to go ahead and pay some of our guys, and they'll probably get moved, to be honest with you. I don't really want to bring back Drew Eubanks. We have Watford already, and honestly, I think Yusuf Nurkic will be on the move as well. So, honestly, we'll see. Jeremy Grant's definitely coming back. Eubanks can go. Winslow go. I mean, everybody else here can go. Wouldn't mind getting Cameron Reddish back. Honestly, I think I'd prefer him over Matisse Thybulle. To be honest with you, I am a big fan of Cam Reddish. So we're going to get him back, see how much he wants here. He wants about $5 million a year. I'll give him $6 million, and he's going to come back. All right, so at this point in time, we obviously have some trades to do. We have our point guard of the future here in Scoot Henderson. I might even get Keon Johnson some minutes next year. Comfortable with Simons. I'm going to move Sharp actually to the 3 and see, you know, what happens to his overall, because I am pretty high on him. I've seen him develop very, very well. And if he can do that today, he could be my 3 for the entirety of this 5-year rebuild. So he'll be my starting small forward. The backup here will be Cam Reddish, so we do need to find ourselves a backup shooting guard. A lot of power forwards on this roster. I'm going to dwindle it down. I think Grant's going to get moved in some sort of sign-in trade, whatever. And then I'm going to probably either go with Little or Murray. So let's find some trades. OKC wants to give me 2 draft picks for Jeremy Grant. I have no idea why, but I'm not going to question it. And Jeremy Grant is officially a member of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Obviously, Randall will be our starting power forward. We made that trade. We want him here. Not necessarily fits the timeline of the rebuild tremendously, but honestly, it's better than nothing. And obviously, somebody who makes a lot of money has to be in a Damian Lillard trade. Yusuf Nurkic is going to go. At this point, he's 28. I just don't really think he's very good, to be honest with you. And I'm not going to really try to pretend that I think he's going to be a long-term answer here. So, in terms of who we're looking for or what we're looking for, I'll take a draft pick. Does not need to be anything crazy, but just preferably, like, this is great. Thank you very much, San Antonio. We get Birch back as well. So, I'm just going to keep moving, guys. I honestly kind of want to play Chris Murray, so I might even move Nasir Little. He is only 23, so he definitely could still be playing, but I don't really feel like I need him at this point. So we're just going to keep making deals and acquiring assets. Obviously, that's kind of the name of the game right now when you're in a rebuild or heading into a rebuild. I think that's definitely the most important thing, you know, trying to maximize those assets. Thank you very much, Indiana. But I think we're doing a pretty good job right now. I really do. So we're not going to be good next year. I think we all probably know that at this point. But what we do have is a nice established core at this point that is hopefully going to be very good for us 3-4 years down the line. So I'm liking the way things are going right now. In terms of Little or Murray, I kind of want to lean Murray. I don't necessarily have to trade Nasir Little. I don't think he's a bad player or anything like that. But I think, again, if we can get an asset for somebody who already has gotten paid, but it's not a lot of money, it's not a horrible idea. So if I don't find a pick, I don't find a pick, and he'll be my backup. I don't see anything, so he's going to be my backup power forward. Eventually, Chris Murray can maybe get into the rotation. So at this point in time, we are going to find ourselves a new backup shooting guard. Again, it doesn't need to be anybody great. Do I take a flyer on Austin Reeves, potentially? I'd do that. I'd give Reeves a 4-year deal, $15 million a season if he's interested in that. And welcome to the team, Austin Reeves. All right, so Austin Reeves is going to be my new backup shooting guard behind Simons. Very likely will be the 6th man off this bench. And yeah, man, it's a new day here in Portland. We've made some moves. I'll see you guys at the start of year 1. We had a pretty crazy and chaotic offseason. We went ahead and traded the franchise player in Damian Lillard. And I know I'm going to have comments about that trade. Honestly, I just wanted him gone, and I don't mean that in like a mean way. I wanted to move on. I wanted to start fresh, and that's exactly what we did. It's going to be Scoot Henderson, Anthony Simons, Shaedon Sharpe, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. Honestly, not terrible. Are we a playoff team? I don't know. Maybe we sneak into the play-in at the most, but other than that, I don't think we have the actual talent to do it. Bench unit isn't terrible. It's going to be Austin Reeves, Trendon Watford, Nasir Little, Cameron Reddish, Keon Johnson. We do have, where is he? We have Chris Murray here. Honestly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send him down to the G League. Maybe he can develop a little bit down there for a year. I don't know. We'll find out. But yeah, let's just also take a look at some of the future assets we do have on this team. We have a Wizards pick this year. We have a Spurs pick and a Rockets pick this year. That's 3 teams that picked, inside the top 10 this year. So you never know what ends up happening, but definitely could have some valuable assets down the line. But I have no idea what's going to happen with this team. I think we're probably going to be kind of a fringe play-in team, but that's just my guess. See you guys at the end of year 1. A very surprising year 1 wraps up. We went 44-38, which is honestly a lot better than I thought we were going to be. And I can definitely live with that. We have an MVP for Darius Garland. You don't see that one too often, or you don't really believe that one too often in real life, but 2K definitely does. Victor Wembanyama obviously went first overall to San Antonio. He wins Rookie of the Year. Talen Horton-Tucker, 6th Man of the Year in Denver. Okay. Giannis wins DPOY. Garland also wins Most Improved, and Joe Mazzulla does win Coach of the Year. All right, let's take a full look at the standings right now. We finished as a 6 seed, so not only do we, avoid the play-in, we're in the playoffs. That is pretty crazy. That's actually pretty insane. Let's take a look at the numbers on the year. It was Randall, Simons, Henderson, Sharp, Wadford. Good. I mean, everything looks really good right now. I'm really surprised. We're taking on an absolute powerhouse here in the Golden State Warriors, who are starting Jordan Poole. They actually have our old friend CJ McCollum. You have Steph running the 2, which is interesting, but I don't know. Let's see what ends up happening here. Can we pull off an upset? We are currently 2-2 with them. We go down 3-2, and we do get eliminated in 6. All right, but you know what? That is still a very successful first season, in my opinion. I can 100% live with that. 76ers get out of the second round, and Joel Embiid is your finals MVP. Let's head up to the draft lottery. Obviously, we have 3 potentially really valuable picks this year. I didn't check out the standings for anything. Holy shit. We're projected 5, 6, and 10. That would be absolutely awesome. We end up with 6, 10, and who other? Oh, do we have that Rockets pick? No, because the Houston pick's at 10. Oh, we might have had that Bulls pick. There might have been a protection on it, though. Nonetheless, we have 2 top 10 picks. Again, I didn't really touch on Chauncey Billups last year because I was already simulated, through the draft. I said I'm going to give him some time. I'm going to see if he can adjust a little bit to this new roster, but honestly, I think we overachieved in year 1, so he's going to remain my head coach for now. Up to the draft for, again, 2 top 10 picks is never a bad thing. In terms of what I want to do with these draft picks, I'm not 100% sure. This draft class is pretty good, and they do progress pretty well. In terms of any starters I could potentially draft here, I don't necessarily see that, but I do think there's a world maybe we get one backup. So I'm probably not going to use number 10 as well, because I am pretty comfortable at the end of the day with the depth we do have. So I'm going to move 10, 21, and 28 and just hope to get somebody who, I don't know. Are these both Memphis's picks? They are. Why is Memphis bad? No, Memphis isn't bad. I don't know why those picks had 2 stars in trade value. Anything else here? We can pick from the Pelicans. Milwaukee is weirdly, sometimes they suck, and I don't know why. They added Miles Bridges. I don't think they're going to suck, but I'm still going to take this trade. I don't think they're going to be bad, but we'll see. So let's simulate up here to the 6th overall selection. Take a look at the summary. Matas Buzelis went 1. Ian Jackson, DJ Wagner, Kyle Flipkowski, and Zachary Rizicher. Where's your top 5? So, obviously we have our pick here of who we think is the best player and who we think can really make an impact on this team. Again, I don't think anybody we draft is necessarily going to hop into the starting lineup. I don't really mind Justin Edwards. He would probably come in and be my new backup small forward. Obviously, you have Bronny James here as well. Could be a backup point guard upgrade over Keon Johnson, but I would probably just take Isaiah Collier at that point. You know what? I'm going to take Justin Edwards. Justin Edwards, 6'8". He's a versatile wing. He's going to come in here again, probably be the new backup to my 3. He's actually a 76, and he'll probably go up in overall when I move him to small forward. So I'm comfortable with that draft pick. I think it was not necessarily maybe a safe pick, but it's a versatile pick, and I'm happy with it nonetheless. So obviously we've established already a pretty good young core, and we're not even through 2 full off seasons, which is obviously great. We've set ourselves up really, really well for the future. We're going to bring back everybody here, obviously, in an unrealistic rebuild. I also pretty much always do that. Anthony Lamb, I'm not going to give him a qualifying, but I'm sure 2K will give him one anyways. All right, so free agency here. There's obviously some talented players here. I mean, I'd love to go after a Jaylen Brown. We just don't really have the money to do that. So here's kind of a look at this roster right now. I don't really think that we have to change anything. And I don't say that lightly. I want to give this team another year to develop because I do really kind of like this team. I also could maybe trade Julius Randle. And I only say that because he's pushing 30. He had a great year for us. His trade value is probably at an all-time high. It would have to be the right trade, though. This, to me, is a beautiful trade. I don't want to get rid of Austin Reeves. I think Austin Reeves is fine, and I think he's good, and he was a valuable member to this team. But Jaren Jackson Jr. is a defensive player of the year. He is 5 years younger than Julius Randle, and he's a clear-cut upgrade, in my opinion. In terms of other trades that I could be interested in, I don't see anything that I'm loving right now. I don't really think any of these that we could potentially do. mean, Karl Anthony Towns, but I'm still taking Jaren Jackson Jr. Is there any way I can do this trade without giving up Austin Reeves? Is that a possibility whatsoever? I would be interested in doing this. Could I potentially, you know what I could do? I could go ahead and I could give you, do you want Cam Reddish? They can't afford Cam Reddish. That's awesome. Anybody else here? You want Chris Murray? I'd do Chris Murray. You want a first? They'll also give me Steven Adams. We're going to pull the trigger on this deal. We're going to acquire Jaren Jackson Jr. for Julius Randle, Chris Murray. Our first next year, but it is top 3 protected. We also get Steven Adams back. Great trade. I'm happy with that. We got an upgrade. We got younger. I'm feeling pretty good. Steven Adams, I like him a lot. Also, hard to believe he's only 30. I feel like he's just so much older. We're going to try to, go ahead and recuperate those assets that we just traded in. Thank you very much, Sacramento. So, at this point in time, I think Cam Reddish is still probably on his way out. I want to give Justin Edwards more minutes. The potential is definitely there. We're going to go ahead and move Cam Reddish. I'm feeling really good right now. I really, really am. Just thank you. Thank you very much, New York. I'll see you guys at the start of year 2. I would say we had a pretty successful offseason. Obviously, a potentially controversial trade, moving our best player last year statistically, in Julius Randle, acquiring Jaren Jackson Jr., but in the long run, I do think it's a better trade. Hell, I think Triple J is better than Julius Randle right now. I'm not getting into that conversation. Here's how it's going to look as a team that, you know what? We made the playoffs last year and we really didn't have any business doing so. It's Scoot Henderson, Anthony Simons, Shaedon Sharpe, Jaren Jackson Jr., Mitchell Robinson. Just a tremendous defensive front court. Absolutely tremendous. The bench unit's going to be led by Austin Reeves, Trendon Watford, Justin Edwards, Nasir Little, and Keon Johnson. I think we can be higher than a 6 seed this year. I really do. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2. We finish out year 2 going 56-26. This rebuild has gone a lot faster than I honestly thought it did. We got a lot better really, really quick. LaMelo Ball, MVP. You don't see that one too often. Isaiah Collier, Rookie of the Year. We had the opportunity to draft him. I'm going to say confidently, even if we did, he would not have been in the Rookie of the Year conversation, just because he wouldn't have gotten the minutes. Alzer Thompson, 6th Man of the Year in Chicago. Victor Wembanyama in just his 2nd year is a Defensive Player of the Year. He also wins Most Improved. Okay. And JB Bickerstaff is your Coach of the Year. We are actually the 1 seed here in the West. Here's a full look at the standings. We were 2 games up on the OKC Thunder. And honestly, man, this is surprising. This is very, very surprising. Simons leads us in scoring, followed by Scoot Henderson, who is just marvelous. 20 points, nearly 5 boards, 9 assists, 1.5 steals. I mean, just oof. What a player. Triple J, Shaedon Sharpe, Justin Edwards in his rookie season off the bench was just tremendous, and I'm feeling good. I love it. I love it. All right, round 1, we have Dallas. They obviously have the best player in the series here in Luka Doncic. They also have Kyrie Irving, Josh Green, added DeMar DeRozan. The regression on DeMar DeRozan is so unfortunate. I've been saying it for probably 3-4 years of 2Ks. It's just crazy how fast the man's overall goes down. It really is. We're up 3-1. We end up winning in 5, which is great to see. Now that got another young and up-and-coming team here in the Houston Rockets who have signed Spencer Dinwiddie. They have Jalen Green, Kenyon Martin Jr., Jabari Smith. Added Sabonis here. I don't know if that makes a ton of sense when you have a good young center in Şengün, but I guess I'm not in charge there. Let's see if we can knock off Houston here in round 2. We are down 2-1. We go down 3-1. And we lose in 5 games. You never want to lose in 5 games as a 1 seed. I don't care if you're the fakest 1 seed in NBA history. You just don't want to do it. Cavs go on to win the finals in, former MVP winner Darius Garland. Finals MVP. All right, it is time for offseason number 3. Again, a really good season, but you don't want to get bounced in the second round. So it looks like we're just moving up around every single year. Holy lottery. Holy shit. Oh my God. What the fuck? Where did these draft picks come from? I must have just traded for a lot of picks without even realizing how valuable they were going to be. So which ones of these are actually going to be ours? We have 7, we have 9, we have 11, we have 14. So we have, 4 out of the potential 5 first-round picks this year. That's obviously great. 1 will go to next year. Staff signing, I think Chauncey Billups has done a decent job. If I can get Stauffer, I'm going to do it. Okay, well, I don't think Chauncey Billups was necessarily the problem. Let me say this. I don't think he was the problem, but I also don't think he was the solution, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I don't really think he was helping this team too much. That's what I'm going to say. We have a shit ton of draft picks this year, and honestly, I have no idea what I want to do with them. 5 first-round picks is crazy. As you saw, the New York Knicks pick ended up not being ours. There was a protection on it. They ended up with the 3rd overall pick. Wow, we would have had number 3. if there was no protection. I think I'm going to have to make some sort of big trade because, honestly, I cannot use 5 draft picks, and I kind of want to make a big trade anyway. So let's see what we can come up with. Also, I knew what I was talking about. The Bucks sometimes suck for no reason. By no means is Mitchell Robinson the reason we're not winning, but I really do think Jared Allen is the reason we could be winning, just kind of over the top of that threshold. So, again, it's not any sort of, like, superstar jump upgrade. Jared Allen is definitely a better player than Mitchell Robinson. I'm not getting into that conversation. But this is not going from Yusuf Nurkic to Nikola Jokic. That's not the kind of move we're making right now. Not quite that big. We're going to try to make this trade. I still think there's value here in potentially getting something like this done. And honestly, I'd like to do it, and they agree to that. Maybe I overpaid. I could have overpaid. I don't really know. But I'm excited to have Jared Allen here. Also, for those of you saying, why didn't you try to get somebody even better? It was tricky because Mitchell Robinson was only making, whatever it was, $12 million a season, so it's not a lot to work with. We still do have a draft pick here, and it's going to be at number 7. Here's a look at this one so far. Trey Johnson is here, Cunningham, Basala Bagyoka, Isaiah Loheim, Bryson Tucker, and Trendon Flowers. In terms of who I want to draft, I think Flory Badunga is going to be my guy, potentially replace Trendon Watford, get a little bit younger, get a little bit cheaper, because I think Watford is going into free agency. And, a little bit more potential as well. So welcome to the team. He's going to be potentially my new backup center. He's actually a 77 overall. I can live with that. Sharp and Henderson, obviously, both coming back. Very key pieces to this team. I'll qualify Keon Johnson, also a spot I could look for an upgrade with, because honestly, I would have given him another year maybe to develop a little bit more, but we're in a winning position right now. This team is definitely capable of going out and winning a championship. So I'm probably just going to let Watford go. He only wants like just under $8.5 million a season, but if I can find an upgrade, I'm going to do it, and I think I might have in the long run. Point guard options suck, so you know what? I take that statement back. We're going to sign Watford, and then we're also going to wait on Keon Johnson. We're going to sign him, and then I'm going to combine both of those guys into a trade. We're going to find an upgrade at this backup point guard spot. So let's see what we have here. In terms of other moves, I'm very, very comfortable with the rest of this roster right now. So, yeah, Trent Watford. Let's just look any sort of point guard. I mean, I don't mind. I could maybe move Melton to point guard. Tyus Jones actually has been playing really good. He averaged 10 and 7 last year. That actually might be my guy. I saw Poku there as well. Monte Morris, but you know what? No. Tyus Jones, welcome to the team. Did I see we also got Donovan Clingan? Yeah, we did. 7'2", 74 overall. If I combine him and Nasir Little, do I find an upgrade at the backup power forward spot? Do I find that upgrade? Not necessarily. I think it's Spencer Dinwiddie. You know what? I can actually probably trade Dinwiddie for somebody better for no goddamn reason because I don't really think he's that good. But an 84 overall is crazy. Power forward, literally anybody. I could move. What the fuck? What the fuck? All right, we are all set. I have no idea how the hell we just did half the moves we just made, but I am feeling fucking awesome right now. I'll see you guys at the start of year 3. We ended up as the 1 seed last year when maybe we had no business doing that. Obviously, we ended up getting bounced a little bit earlier than we wanted to, but we went ahead, made some more moves, we upgraded this team, and we're hoping to maybe go a little bit further this year. It's going to be Scoot Henderson, Anthony Simons, Shaden Sharp, Jaren Jackson Jr., our new center here, and Jared Allen. Bench unit is unbelievable. It's Austin Reeves, Keegan Murray, Justin Edwards, Tyus Jones, and Flory Badunga. Wow, what a team. Let's go have a great season. 69-13 is our record here at the end of year 3 as LaMelo Ball wins his second straight MVP. We had Garland win it year 1, LaMelo last year, and LaMelo again this year. Interesting. Basala Bagyoka is your Rookie of the Year in New York. He went 3rd overall. Cole Anthony, 6th Man of the Year, has a new home in Cleveland. Chet Holmgren, Defensive Player of the Year. Cody Williams, Most Improved. And Stauffer does win Coach of the Year for us in his first season. All right, well, 69 wins is obviously great, but it doesn't mean as much to me as a championship would, and I think we definitely have the capability to do that. We just got to go out and show that we are a championship caliber team. A round 1 matchup is going to be the 8-seeded Dallas Mavericks. We played them last year. We beat them last year. I think we're even better this year. There's no reason why we shouldn't beat them. We are currently up 2-1. We go up 3-1 and go into game 6, and that's all she wrote. All right, did not mean to do that. All right, Denver here in round 2. They have Nikola Jokic, so they clearly have the best player in the series. They've added Herb Jones, who I've actually seen a lot of teams trade for, so he must be like really easy to trade for, which is something I definitely should look into at some point in time because I like Herb Jones. We're up 3-1 on them. We do end up winning in 5, and the Pelicans, who I believe won 63 games this year, are going to be a tough matchup. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. No way. Come on, dude. You did not put Jason Tatum and Zion Williamson on the same goddamn team next to Bronny James. Come on, dude. All right. Well, this will be interesting. We're up 3-1. I wouldn't be... Okay, wow. And one of 2K's favorite teams here in the Cleveland Cavaliers. I will say, they have lost Donovan Mitchell. They've replaced them with OG Anunoby. They obviously traded us Jared Allen. We traded them Mitchell Robinson. They have Cole Anthony, Jonathan Isaac, Josh Okogie off the bench. Let's just see what ends up happening here. I really do think that we can beat this team, and can we get it done? We are currently up 3-2, and we win in year 3. Scoot Henderson is your finals MVP, and that's awesome. That really is awesome. Let's head up to the draft lottery. Obviously, this is offseason number 4. In terms of really high picks, we are projected number 12 from the Sacramento Kings. Looks like the New York Knicks, unfortunately, were not so bad this year to be that high in the lottery. We stay right there at number 12. I'll probably just trade the pick. I really don't see anything that I have an immediate need for coming off the bench or anything like that. So we'll probably end up moving it. We also have 19 from the Knicks, and then our 30, obviously, on our own. So let's just move these picks for future assets in case we want to... What in the hell? I'm not going to do this because I think, obviously, I'm going to have some free agents this year, and then eventually I'm also going to run out of money, and I don't want to go so far into the cap that I have to lose somebody for Chris Middleton. I just can't do it. So we're going to make these trades, acquire some future assets. Maybe we make another big move down the line. I don't know. Scoot Henderson and Justin Edwards, obviously, both coming back. Keegan Murray and Shaedon Sharpe are 2 very important free agents for me. I'm going to go ahead. Shit. Didn't realize we also have Triple J and Jared Allen. That's why they had the money. So we have money, hypothetically, if we wanted to go out and sign one of these guys. I'm not going to do it, and let me explain to you why. Because if I went out and tried to sign either Kevin Durant or Steph Curry, who are both 37, 38, doesn't make much sense anyways, we would have to lose somebody here, or we'd have to qualify everybody, and then we wouldn't have enough money next offseason to do anything, literally. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure all my guys get paid. That's not a real offer. I will say I'm going to give a qualifying offer to one of these guys, and I think it's probably going to be Keegan Murray. And I'm only going to do that because if I lose him next offseason, it's not the end of the world. If I lose somebody this offseason, I'd rather not do that. So I'm going to give a real contract to Sharpe. I'm going to qualify Keegan Murray, which is honestly fine by me. And then Jared Allen, obviously I have to pay. We're going to pay. Oh, shit. I didn't realize he had another offer. Okay, thank God. Jaren Jackson Jr. is obviously somebody I have to get paid as well. So we're going to bring back Murray on his qualifying. Allen and Jackson are good. We'll wait on Simons. We'll wait on Sharpe. And other than that, we've set ourselves up really well. So... no real offers. I'm going to wait on Simons again, just because they don't have any offers at this point. Sharpe now has some real offers. I'm going to go ahead and give him a max contract because he very much deserves it. And then I'll wait on Simons one more day, and we are officially good. I'm good. I really am feeling awesome right now. Anthony Simons, welcome back. All right, so that was a lot to deal with. Obviously, a pretty stressful period in time when you win a championship and you have like 5 really important players that are all free agents. In terms of moves, I'm honestly not going to change anything. You guys know how much I hate leaving teams to say. Actually, maybe I'll trade Tyus Jones just because he's expiring. I'd rather get somebody who's under a multi-year deal that I don't have to worry about as much. Jesus, holy assets. Moving into the future, and just preferably a point guard on a multi-year deal. He's on a 1-year deal. Any sort of options? No. Yeah, there's no options there. Who's Colby Jones? He's a free agent, so I don't care. Trey Jones for Tyus Jones. That would be funny, but they're both free agents. I don't know. I'm going to find something here. We're going to go point guard. We're probably going to get a lot of guys still on rookie deals, but honestly, that's fine. If somebody can be a similar overall to Jones and, I don't know, have a couple years left that are team controlled, I'd do that. Isaiah Collier is not going to happen. He won a rookie of the year. Bones Highland could happen. You know what? I'm going to make this happen. I can definitely get this to go through. You want to first? Thank you. Bones Highland's on a multi-year deal, which is obviously good. We don't have to worry about him being a free agent next year. All right, I'll see you guys at the start of year 4. We had an awesome playoff run last year, man. We won a championship, and we are back and looking for more. I want a three-peat. I honestly think we can do it. It's going to be Scoot Henderson, Anthony Simons, Shaedon Sharpe, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Jared Allen. Bench unit's going to be Justin Edwards, Bones Highland, Keegan Murray, Austin Reeves, and Flory Badunga. Honestly, this bench has just emerged so much to the point where I don't actually, you know what? I'm going to switch these two. I don't know if I necessarily had to, but I think getting Reeves more minutes than Highland is actually really important. All right, I'll see you guys at the end of year 4. 66-16 is our record here at the end of year 4. We're 3 games worse than last year, but 66 wins is never something I'm going to be upset about. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is your MVP. Cameron Boozer, Rookie of the Year. Alzer Thompson, Sixth Man of the Year. Evan Mobley, Depoy. Omaha Billy, you most improved, and obviously Stauffer going to be Coach of the Year. So, full look at the standings. We ended up as the 1 seed, only 2 games ahead of the Thunder. So, happy we won't have to meet them at least at a minimum until the Western Conference Finals if we both do get there. Here's a look at the numbers. When we're this good, whoa, Jesus, Reeves. Maybe I made a mistake playing you more than some of these other guys. Good God. Rebounds was Allen and assists was Henderson. All right, round 1, Denver Nuggets. Obviously, good, talented core. You have Nikola Jokic. Really not much has changed, though. I think we're the better team. We win in 5. Moving on to the Pelicans, who obviously Bronny James, Jason Tatum, Zion. Added Kuzma as well for $2 million. What? How does that happen? Well, that's a little scary. That's definitely a scary team right there. We are currently down 3-2. Yeah. All right. Well, there's no way the Pelicans aren't winning. Yeah, it's just insane. All right, on to the final offseason. I don't know what changes we have to make. Obviously, I have hopes of winning another championship. And, oh, good, the Pelicans are going to get a number 2 overall pick, potentially. That's sweet. Yep, they do. Just that. Nets had 3 and 4 there. Staff signing, we're good with Stauffer. Did not mean to do that. I did not see if we have any first-round picks this year. I'm sure we do because we had a million assets. We have 24 and 29, neither of which I plan on using. All right, so let's head up to team player options here for the final season. Edwards and Badunga are both going to be coming back. Badunga, I don't know. Henderson will definitely be getting his qualifying offer, as we're just going to qualify him here in the final season. And then, yeah, I'm just going to max him out and then do that because it's obviously pretty limited. But I'd probably prefer Keegan Murray, to be honest with you. How much does Reeves want? Actually, it's not bad at all. We can definitely get all these guys back. All right, so at this point in time, if I'm going to make a serious upgrade somewhere, I don't really know where it would be, and I don't really think we would have to. It would probably be Simons, and honestly, I don't know why his overall hasn't gone up more. Like, I know his scoring's obviously dropped off a bit since we've added, better players to this team, but I think if we want to definitely 100% secure a championship, I wouldn't mind maybe trying to make an upgrade. So let's see what we can find. I would love to try to get Josh Giddey on this team. He's somebody who progresses really, really well. He's a 90 overall, coming off a year of 16.5 points, 7 rebounds, and almost 10.5 assists. He's a tremendous player. And honestly, if I can get him, I think he is an upgrade over Simons. Reeves has to be in here to make the money work. I think moving on from Austin Reeves, who put up, 3 points a game last year, did not mean to do that, will not be the end of the world. So let's see if we can get this to go through. We also have 85,000 draft picks, so take whatever you want. Honestly, I don't really think it's going to impact us too much, and they agree to that. So welcome to the team, Josh Giddey. If I have any Trailblazers fans watching and you're mad I traded Anthony Simons, I apologize. His overall just wouldn't go up. In terms of who we could sign as a potential free agent, I'm actually going to sign Jeremy Grant, and I'm going to trade him in a bunch of draft picks and hopefully go out and find ourselves an upgrade at the backup shooting guard spot. So let's look player finder, let's look shooting guard, and let's look what I give him, is it $7 million a year? It's going to be limited options that were 5 years down the line, and obviously cap's gone up a lot. I don't know. Let's just check. See, all these guys are not under contract. VJ Miller, he's 4.5 stars. Yeah, I can fucking dream on. There's no way that's happening. Cody Williams, I wouldn't mind Emmanuel quickly. We just don't have the money for it. What's Cody Williams? He's 3 stars in trade value. I'm sure if I maybe, I don't know, gave him a bunch of draft picks, they'd take this. It is the final season anyways. Nope. I'll give you 5 if you want 5 draft picks. Again, I can't take them with me. Okay, cool. Welcome to the team. All right, so we've obviously made an upgrade on this team. This team is just absolutely perfect. I mean, other than literally nothing. I don't have a problem with any spot on this team. So I want another championships, though. I'll see you guys at the start of year 5. After coming up a bit short last year, we made another change. We went ahead and traded for Josh Giddey. He is obviously a tremendous player, and I'm really excited to see how he pairs with Scoot Henderson in a backcourt. But here's how it's going to look. Obviously, I just mentioned Henderson and Giddey. Shaedon Sharpe has just been tremendous. I don't think I've really talked about him enough. He's a 90 overall, and honestly, just because of the team that's around him, he's not really probably playing to his full potential in terms of points per game, but he's still been incredible for us. Jaren Jackson Jr. here is then Jared Allen as well. Just unbelievable defensive front court. Bench is absolutely insane. Justin Edwards, Floyd Badunga, Bones Highland, Keegan Murray, and Cody Williams. Just absolutely bonkers. I'll see you guys at the end of year 5. What a way to cap off our final regular season, as Scoot Henderson is your MVP. You'll love to see it. The man's up to a 94 overall. I'm pretty happy we made the decisions we did. Also, we went 71-11, so really, really tremendous regular season record. Bryce J, oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. He's in Indiana. He wins Rookie of the Year. Also, what pick was he? He went 11th overall. Wow. Brandon here is your 6th man of the year. Victor Wembanyama, Defensive Player of the Year. Bryson Tucker, Most Improved. And Stafford does win Coach of the Year. Okay, here's a look at the standings. We were the 1 seed again. Hopefully, we don't have to take on the Spurs. They are obviously led by Victor Wembanyama, and that makes me nervous. Here's a look at the numbers. MVP, Scoot Henderson, double-double, just absolutely insane. Rebounds, Allen. Assists, Henderson. Who we got? It's going to be the 8-seeded Grizzlies. Ja Wilkes, Booth, Desmond Bane, Billy Yu, Julius Randle, our old friend. Yeah, you know, I don't necessarily had to trade Julius Randle. I thought he was a good enough player to remain on this team, but I do like Jaren Jackson Jr. just a bit more. Well, a lot more, actually, but you know what I mean. We're actually getting some pretty tough challenges out of Memphis right there. We do win in 6. Utah here. Boogie Fland. Awesome name. Isaiah Loheim, Larry Marketing, Cooper Flag. Nice tattoo. All right, good team there. Good, looks like they have some good depth and just like a really solid built team, but yeah, thanks for coming. And then the 7-seeded play-in Sacramento Kings. What the fuck is this? There's no fucking way. All right, so we're in the NBA Finals, and Luka Doncic is a Toronto Raptor. What the fuck? Him and Matas Buzelis in the same backcourt. Oh my god, that's absolutely insane. Well, I'd like to be getting our 2nd championship of this video, and albeit they're a good team, I just feel like we're just way better at this point. And yeah, it looks like we're going to be sweeping them out of their own building. We'll get a little bit of gameplay in here. Hopefully we don't blow this. Yeah, we should be good. All right, I'll see you guys in there. Feels good knowing we're about to win our 2nd championship. Obviously, we got a little bit nervous last offseason, or last playoff run, rather, when we went ahead and maybe came up a little bit short. But this time, we're going to be winning our 2nd championship of the video, and obviously that's great. Henderson to the rim, throws it down, and man, oh man, MVP showing out here in Game 4. Let's, I guess, just talk a little bit about the Trailblazers. I opened this video by touching on it a little bit. It is so much easier said than done, actually finding it like in yourself as a team to go ahead and move on from a player like Damian Lillard, who's just been the cornerstone piece for your franchise for so long. But I really do think it's time. I mean, everything's going to come to an end at some point, and honestly, the Damian Lillard era in Portland, it probably has to. Do you really think that even if you're able to trade away the 3rd overall pick for a player that maybe can, you know, help Damian Lillard win a championship, do you seriously think you're still contending? I don't. You're in a very, very good Western Conference. A tremendous Western Conference, and honestly, I don't know if the player you get for that 3rd overall pick is really going to put you over that hump. So, I know Dame says he wants to be there. He doesn't want to run from the grind. I know all the jokes. But I truly do think they should sit down and figure out that it's best for everybody to just move on. I really do. I don't think anything's going to get done no matter what trade you make with that 3rd overall pick, and you're not winning anything with Dame. I hate to state the obvious, because Yusuf Nurkic and Jeremy Grant are not a good enough starting front court to win a championship. You already have some brilliant young pieces in Shaedon Sharpe. Obviously, Simons is still relatively young. I mean, these are pieces that could be really impactful for your future down the line. Never mind the fact that if you take Henderson 3rd overall, or Miller, whoever ends up not going number 2, along with, assuming, probably at least 3 draft picks minimum that you're going to get in a Luka Doncic, and a Damian Lillard trade if you do it with the right team, you're going to have a ton of assets, and the future is going to be looking a lot brighter than if you try to throw something together that really sticks with Dame. So that's just my take. Again, I've said it a million times every time I say all these hypotheticals on exactly what a team should do. Obviously, it is much easier said than done, and I'm sitting here behind a microphone, a computer, and a PlayStation telling them what they should do. Obviously, not nearly as easy as actually going ahead and finding the right trade. So I will be interested, because obviously the rumors are going to tick no matter what. I hope Portland does come to their senses, though, because I want a major trade this offseason, man. I mean, I need either like a Damian Lillard or a Joel Embiid trade. Also, for those of you saying that Philadelphia should maybe blow it up and maybe Portland tries to go get Joel Embiid for the 3rd overall pick, I think Joel Embiid is honestly too valuable for the 3rd overall pick. If it was number 1 and you wanted to give Victor Wembanyama, I think that's obviously much more of a conversation that Philly would entertain. But then again, if Portland had one, there's no way they're going to trade that pick. So I don't know, man. It's interesting. There's a lot of different potential major moves this offseason that could shake out. Who knows what the hell the Suns are going to do. James Harden's future is still up in the air. Also, I saw a thing that says, this is what's tricky about the NBA, because I saw a tweet that said Joel Embiid was like, this has nothing to do with the Trailblazers, by the way. He was like shocked at the Sixers dismissing Doc Rivers. I don't really understand what was shocking about that. I understand it's also different. There's very, very different ends of the spectrum when it comes to being like somebody who is like very much liked in the locker room. Like it appears Joel Embiid very much liked Doc Rivers, and actually being a good, competent head coach, which unfortunately Doc Rivers is not. So that's a really fine line. Hopefully that firing doesn't piss off Joel Embiid, but it's also a tough thing because it didn't look like James Harden liked him in the slightest. So it really is kind of a double-edged sword. I mean, pick your poison at that point, but I don't know. It's going to be a fun offseason, man. I just have a feeling. Obviously, every NBA offseason always ends up being fun somehow. That's just the state of the NBA today. We can't go one offseason without some sort of major move having to happen. And honestly, I hope it's a trade because this free agency class isn't exactly great. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Kyrie Irving as well. Going to be a very, very, very fun summer, in my opinion. So let's try to close out the Raptors here. Obviously, we built a hell of a Trailblazers team, and I had a ton of fun doing this one. And, yeah, man, I've said my piece on Portland, what they should do. Let me know what you think they should do down below in the comment section. There's obviously a few different directions they can go. I know what I think's right. I know what the majority of people, maybe besides some Blazers fans, think is right. But, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. Wrapping up the Dallas... Oh, my God, I saw Luca and said Dallas. Wrapping up the Toronto Raptors here. We're going to be winning our second championship of this video. Cody Williams, want to put one in? That would be nice. That would have been sick. Nonetheless, we get it done. We sweep the Toronto Raptors, and we acquire our second championship here for Portland. We built a hell of a team, and I had a ton of fun doing this one. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed watching it. As I touched on prior, let me know any other video ideas down below. Obviously, we are in that weird period right now where we're not quite at the off season. And obviously, we're not quite up to the draft yet and anything like that. So let me know any other video ideas down below, including some rebuild challenges, whatever they may be. Of course, you guys are new around here. Do me a favor, hit that sub button, stick around a while. We'd love to have you. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.